where, we were kind of away from the crowd. He was breathing fire. And all of a sudden we hear this voice saying, "Hey, I'd like to do fire with you." And so we looked over.
Yo, Steve! Oh my God!
Everyone was stunned, and so he said, "Can I do fire with you?" Jesse, he was holding his torch and fuel, and here you go. And he started breathing fire. 2 breaths, he was done. He used up all the fuel. It was a huge flame. He only did it twice. I think I may have gotten like 1 or 2 shots. That was it.
And please welcome director, writer, cinematographer, and editor, Owen Korb.
Good to be here, good to be here. It's pretty cool to share this movie outside of LA because you never know, we're in a little bubble over there in our community. So it's nice to be able to share it outside as well.
So as a photographer yourself, how did you stumble upon the meetup culture in LA?
So how I found it was basically how a lot of other people found it, just kind of, I was on Instagram and just looking through the hashtags and then I stumbled upon some people wearing masks, in downtown LA and, living in Los Angeles, I think I was living there for like 6 years. I'm not originally from Los Angeles, but I was living there for 6 years and I never went to downtown. I always felt like it was a scary place. Maybe I should just stay in the valley, But I started seeing these photos and, just being a photographer and just seeing these things, you're like, wow, like, what's happening here? So I ended up showing my girlfriend, I showed her and she was like, "You're crazy. Like, you're not going over there. I know where that's at. I know where that's at and you're not going over there. You're going to get mugged or jumped. You have like a couple of $1,000s worth of equipment, it's probably not the most safest place to be." So yeah, that's kind of how I found it.
What section of the people that you were filming of stood out to you versus the others, and why?
I think it was half and half. So there was definitely people that I wanted to be in the documentary that it didn't end up working out, kind of thing. So it was like a half and half thing. I think it was like I would just be at the meets filming, and then I would be approached, and I would be like, "All right, let's do the interview," And then there are some people where I had to like pursue a little longer, like with my friend Angela over here. She does amazing fire photography, and you know what I'm saying. At first, she was very shy. She was like, "No, I'm not. I can't be in this. I can't be in this." But then she was the last interview I filmed, and she definitely changed the movie just by her accepting to do the interview and stuff. It definitely changed and shaped different things. More fire because of Angela.
So what were some of the challenges of shooting the documentary in the moment, like when the meetups were taking place?
I'm glad you asked that because normally when you're doing a documentary, maybe the stuff happened 20 years ago, 10 years ago, right? And you just kind of pick the scraps up, go through the newspapers and stuff like that. This was happening every week, sometimes twice a week. And it definitely made me crazy. Like, it was just like, oh my God, one's happening tomorrow, and it was San Diego. Like, we gotta go. And so yeah, I just kept documenting it. And at first, I had these certain like chapters, how I organized it into kind of chapters and sections, like locations, and then from there, as I started filming, the whole kind of puzzle came together, and the locations and the people, those are all different like things that if you take out, let's just say in a given night, someone calls a meetup. If you take out, let's just say all the models don't show up, it's a different dynamic. There's no fire performance that night. It's different. So the people who would normally just gravitate towards the fire, now they're shooting portraits. So you're getting these skills. You don't know what you're going to be shooting, so get in that situation. You just never know what to expect.
So what made you decide to do a documentary style film rather than like a short film or a full feature-length film?
So just living in California, you know, being a filmmaker, you know, I've definitely had a lot of opportunities to, and I've shot music videos. I've done probably 2 or 3 short films. When this documentary presented itself, you know, me and my brother, we went to the meet and we're like, man, this is a format that we can do together without getting like some kind of big company involved or something. So we've actually worked on other documentaries, other people's documentaries. So we know the format of sitting there interviewing somebody, asking the questions. We already knew that format. So this was something that me and my brother and a couple other people could just jump right into it. And we felt like we could finish it, which we did. It's hard to finish something like this. It's a big beast. It's a lot, yeah. So, you know, we ended up finishing it.
So my last question before I turn it over to the audience, if you have any questions, is so how has the meetup culture changed in your perspective after your documentary was released?
I think it's getting bigger, and I think it's spreading, and I think that's the reason why I made this film, is to get people to get out and create together. I think a lot of people nowadays, they're just, you know, they're just stuck on the device at home, you know, and they're just kind of buried in the FOMO and all the other kind of things that can come along with that. But with this film, it's like, yes, you're on your device, but you're using that device to stay connected and to actually meet up with people. And I think it's changed a lot of people's lives because just being creative, you know, sometimes people around you, your circle, they don't embrace it, you know. But now here's a community where, hey, I wanted to paint my face or I want to start modeling. There's no judgment. You can just go out there in the middle of the street and create. So I think that's kind of where I was at with going back to your questions. Like, I think it's spreading, and I think people are seeing it, and hopefully just people share this. That's the thing, is share it, be inspired, and take some action, you know? You don't have to be a full-time creative, but being able to go out and blow off some steam and just try some new things, what can go wrong?
Fair enough. Audience, do you have any questions?
What do you guys think?
Have the cops been a little better now, knowing that this is actually not a riot or whatever?
Yeah, I think
gotten more
most of the time they'll let us basically, they'll pull the car up, put the lights on, they'll let us pose next to the car most of the time, you know. Some of the shots in there, yeah, the cops were maybe somewhere else and then we kind of posed next to it without them knowing about it, but most of the time they know what we're doing. And they'll come over, they'll just check on us. As long as some of the smoke grenades and stuff can get into the fire alarms and stuff like that, so there's things, but we try to be as respectful as possible. And in the documentary we say, like, we try to stay out of the way.
Right.
But sometimes it's like, you know, with the 6th Street Bridge and with a couple of these events that kind of got a little out of hand, I feel like the more they know, the more they see us, the more they, you know, 'cause we're not out there trying to cause harm or anything. We could be doing a lot worse things than taking
And,
pictures.
You know, I remember watching some of those news clips and thinking, you know, what is all this about? Well, now it all makes sense. You know, very creative. I mean, really.
Thank you for coming out and seeing the movie. This was exciting for me to share it in Arizona.
Yeah,
outside
and
of
that's
LA.
what I was saying. I'm not from here. I'm from Yuma, and I was asking my daughter, do they even have this here? You know, in Phoenix, where you know it opens up for all kinds of. You know,
It's spreading like.
They actually do.
They do.
Yeah,
They
they
do.
do.
I know of like 4 groups.
Yeah. Oh wow. Awesome.
So yeah, and if it's not in your neighborhood, or maybe step up and make an account and just hang out with some people and create together. You know, like I feel like it's going west to east. So
Yeah.
there's definitely some going on in New York. You know, I think some of the bigger.
I think it's an awesome concept. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I was, you know, when I stepped into the community, I was just blown away. So it's just something that I tried to capture the essence of it, you know, and just to be able to share it in its most purest form. And you know, I'm more of a filmmaker than a photographer, but I just got sucked into the community and everybody embraced me, and it's just like the story just kind of glad you guys enjoyed it.
Where can we watch the film?
We're gonna have the film up on Amazon, so probably by next week it'll be up. You guys can check it out. Streaming. Probably gaming up too. Because distribution is very hard. Making the movie is the fun part. Distributing is, I don't even know. But thank you guys.
Thank you all for coming, and thank you, Owen, for being here.
Oh, you're welcome.
And answering all of our questions. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your time here at the festival.
Awesome.